The Memphis Soul Prize 2021 award show is made possible by the support of these local businesses, organizations, and individuals. Hey everybody, welcome to the Memphis Soul Prize. We're excited you're here. I'm Donnie Granger, founder of Memphis Soul Prize.
I'm Memphis Jones. I'm the on-screen mentor for the students and contestants taking part in the Memphis Soul Prize in the Memphis City Schools. So I teach them all about the cultural history, musical history, all of the things that inspire them to bring us this great poetry.
We are excited that you are here to help us celebrate the third annual Memphis Soul Prize Awards. And as we get started, we want to let you know a little bit more about the Memphis Soul Prize. How are a people united and a culture elevated? Beauty. When honesty and insight and creativity combine in the human heart, magic happens. New realities are formed, new possibilities are imagined. Beauty has power, poetry has power. This is the Memphis Soul Prize, where we are uniting the people of Memphis, Tennessee around celebrating the good and elevating the story of our city. We're joining together to do something special, Memphis. First, it's a contest open to every high schooler in the city. Our students learn about the history, the music, the culture of Memphis, Tennessee. And through their eyes, we get to see the things that they love about the city that loves them. And secondly, it's a creative celebration. We collaborate with the students, with musicians, with creation studios to bring to life the students' poetry. And that's where you come in. Your job is to celebrate, to support these students. They're giving us a new song to sing, and we have to sing it so the whole world can hear it. Memphis is special, and enthusiasm is contagious. It's up to all of us to unite our hearts, to celebrate the good, and elevate the story of our city. I cannot wait to see where this goes. This is the Memphis Soul Prize.
Wow, Memphis Soul Prize, third year. It seems like we just did the first one. Time's flying by, but listen, so much has happened and changed, and Memphis has grown so much. And these students are pouring their hearts into these poems. It's so exciting to get to see the video representation of the way that these kids see our city. Who do we have up first?
Clarissa Robertson from Mitchell High School and her poem, Musical Dreamland. Check it out.
My audience is quiet until the dark of night, when we enjoy the sight of the city. I see lanterns stretching far and wide, the clouds hung high over the city. The people dancing to a new tune as a song plays on bell from the dark of night until the dawn of day. Our world is magnified. Can you hear their blows and bellows drifting down the riverbank, searching for a soul to sow? The streets are full of people, from the tallest to the smallest. They all dream. This place is happy. The smokehouse flows as I walk the road, touching the walls covered in color, while I sing the song of the horns, that girl dancing in the road with the eyes of many, and the man with his guitar, in his own world, unaware of his acquired crowd. This is home, the home of music and many colors. These strangers are one of a kind. They're carried by music and dance and the culture of the people of this place. You see that hope is the host to dreams. Hope has brought these many people here to enjoy what we have to show. This dream has soul, rhythm, rhyme, and time, to change as the new and old collide, to put on show what we have now and can accomplish by tomorrow, which is a dreamland of hope.
Wow, thank you, Clarissa. Your poem is so beautiful. Thank you so much for those words that came from your heart. We love that. The whole city is gonna rally around that. We love it so much. I pulled out one of the lines, like there's so many beautiful phrases. I love how she turns the phrase, but,
Yes.
but there was a line that I thought was really great. I want to share it with you and see what you think of this. The man with his guitar in his own world, unaware of his acquired crowd.
Nice.
That's special.
Yeah, that a lot of those words and lines struck me too, but that one really did stick out because that is the heart and soul of what Memphis music is. Memphis, unlike a lot of other cities, we don't necessarily perform for others. It's just sort of an inherent thing in the culture of Memphis music where we really just want to satisfy our own soul, satisfy our own ears first. And there's so many great musicians. And the phrase in that poem with the old and new collide, anytime there's a collision, there's an impact. And Memphis is famous for making an impact. Probably like the easiest way to tell that story would be to talk about a young man named Elvis Presley who never performed for people. He always performed alone at home. He would sing songs in the laundry room downtown at Lauderdale Courts. He was afraid of crowds, didn't want to be in front of people, but he acquired a crowd.
Yeah, just like this poem. So check this out. We've actually got a little creative piece that Memphis did in the Peabody Hotel about Elvis Presley. Enjoy this.
Back in 1952, a high school student down at Humes was encouraged to enter a talent show by his homeroom teacher. She'd heard him singing to himself outside at his locker before class. And this was a very, very shy kid. But she said, you know what? It sounds good. Maybe it'd be a way for you to make some friends. So he did enter that show. And he sang one song. It was so good and it went over so well that he decided right on stage in the moment to do a second one. By the end of it, the whole crowd was on its feet cheering for this kid. His name was Elvis Presley. The next year in 1953, he attended a prom and he did it right here in the Continental Ballroom in the Peabody Hotel here in downtown Memphis, Tennessee. He picked up his date in a rented car. Her name was Regis. She wore a pink taffeta dress, and while most of these guys were wearing white tuxes, he showed up in a very conservative blue suit. When they walked through the door, the band was already playing on the bandstand, and lots of couples were already dancing. But instead of joining them, Elvis very discreetly walked Regis to a table and sat her down for small talk and soft drinks. He told her, listen, I'm sorry, I'm embarrassed, but I don't know how to dance. And they didn't dance all night long. Less than a year later, this kid, Elvis Presley, down at Sun Studio did more than dance. He could also sing and he could act, and before you know it, he's considered the king of rock and roll all around the world. So from the Continental Ballroom here in the Peabody Hotel, can I just say thank you to that teacher who literally changed the world by drawing a student out and letting him show his stuff to everyone.
I love that about Elvis Presley. We all know Elvis, but what's so cool in that story is the teacher, the spark that she gave him so early in his life that changed the whole world.
The name Elvis Presley is a household word today, but the names of these poets that we're learning tonight, who knows in another decade how famous they'll be. Thank you so much to the teachers that took the time to inspire them.
Absolutely, we love you teachers. And in Cordova High School, there's a teacher that's inspiring a guy named Jason Anderson. Check out his poem, Hope.
Memphis, a place built on a bluff, a place built on grit and grind, a place built of hope. A word so strong it can move mountains, a word so strong it can build countries. Memphis may be a small city, but there is much to this word called hope. This hope built a city known for many things, a city known for jazz and blues, a city known for barbecue, a city where Elvis sings, a solemn pulpit for Dr. King. Look and you may find Memphis is far from perfect. This city may have crime, but with hope for a brighter life, we may achieve it. Ask yourself, which is it I lack, grit and grind or hope? We live in a city built of those things. We may not be perfect, but we have what many don't, the grit and grind to go after anything. Memphis, a city of hope.
Amazing. Jason, thank you for that. Thank you for inspiring us. It felt like some of the great speeches from the past. There's so many great lines, but it felt like you could be up at a podium or a pulpit speaking that to a congregation. So thank you for that, Jason. One of the lines that I pulled out that I loved, it was a collection of lines. It goes like this: a city known for jazz and blues, a city known for barbecue, a city where Elvis sings, a solemn pulpit for Dr. King. So many different things happening in those little lines.
Yeah, Jason, you really brought out so many different foundations of what Memphis is known to be and what we know Memphis to be ourselves right here, incredibly perceptive. And I love that you were smiling the minute you're on screen. That really touched me. I gotta tell you though, talking about moving into a video that will sort of exemplify a part of Memphis touched on by this poem, I'm reminded of Rufus Thomas. Rufus Thomas was an incredible entertainer, did everything. He would sing, he would dance, he was a comedian, he wrote songs, recorded songs, always referred to himself, even till the day he passed away, as the world's oldest teenager. He always looked for the good in things and the fun and the enthusiasm in things. So let's watch a video. We went down to WDIA where he was a disc jockey for years. Let's look at this video right now featuring Rufus Thomas. So here we are on Union Avenue in downtown Memphis. Right behind me you see the original location of WDIA. I want to talk to you a little bit about a man named Rufus Thomas. Rufus Thomas was actually from Casey, Mississippi, and he moved to Memphis and became a student at a nationally renowned school called Booker T. Washington High School down in South Memphis. There he met a teacher named Nat D. Williams. Nat D. Williams saw something very unique and special in Rufus and invited him to be his sidekick at a gig that he had down on Beale Street. The Palace Theater every Wednesday night had a talent show. And Nat D. Williams was the host, and he wanted to have somebody that could come on and with a big hook, pull off the guys who weren't good enough or come out and clap for the people who were. If things weren't really moving along, somebody had to come out and sing and dance, and Rufus Thomas was the man for the job, an entertainer in every respect. Rufus Thomas, incidentally, is the guy who discovered B.B. King down at Talent Night on Beale Street. But back to the story. Nat D. Williams left the Palace Theater. Rufus stayed there for a while until he got a call. Nat said, "Hey, I'm a disc jockey at WDIA on Union Avenue, and I want you to come on board as a disc jockey too." WDIA happens to be the very first radio station anywhere in the world with an entirely African-American cast of disc jockeys. Nat D was the first, and Rufus Thomas came close behind, stayed for decades. Many musicians in Memphis, Tennessee say that it was Rufus Thomas that shaped the sound of Memphis music by the records that he played. Rufus Thomas not only had the first hit on Sun Records, a song called Bearcat in 1953, but a couple years later he had the very first hit on Stax Records, a song called 'Cause I Love You. Y'all, I just want to thank, right here in front of WDIA, thank you, Nat D. Williams, for looking into your student, Rufus Thomas, and inviting him to share with us the gift that he had, Memphis music.
I love knowing that about Rufus Thomas. I had no idea the influence he had on all of Memphis music.
Yeah, incredible. You know, the first hit on Sun Records, the birthplace of rock and roll, the first hit on Stax Records, the birthplace of soul, those producers might have given up, those owners might have just thrown in the towel. I'm so glad Rufus Thomas brought that.
That is wild. That is wild. I'm glad to know that. I'm glad that we got to share that with you guys. Next up, we have a poem by Melina Gabriel from Overton High School called Oh Memphis.
Oh Memphis, how beautiful you are. The aroma of sweet barbecue through those beautiful streets of yours, filled with beauty. Oh Memphis, those dancing bridge lights, a beacon for those lost in the dark. Beautiful Mississippi water that flows through us. Oh Mississippi, the calmness you bring to those who are stressed. Oh, the sound of hope that you carry through those waters of yours. Oh, Memphis, home to kings, home to BB, home to Elvis, the memory of Dr. King. Home of history, a place of wonder. Oh, how beautiful you are. Oh, Memphis, as another day passes, we remember you have brought us laughter. You are comfort for many and peace to all. As I think about you, you are a sign of hope. Oh, my hopeful Memphis.
Thank you, Melina. What a great poem. It felt so happy. It felt so joyful. It was such a sweet delivery. So thank you for that. And I pulled out a couple of lines that I thought might be interesting to talk about. I love the lines, those dancing bridge lights, a beacon for those lost in the dark. That's special.
Yeah, those lights on the Hernando de Soto Bridge, it is like a beacon. You know, people all over the world, that's such an iconic view of our city. You know, Memphis has a relationship with the Mississippi River. There's no question. You've heard it said before, Memphis is a river city, and it is true. Without the river, we wouldn't have the blues. You know, the blues comes from the Delta and followed the river right here to Memphis, Tennessee. You know, there's a guy named W.C. Handy who's from Florence, Alabama, an educated band leader, actually led a band all over the world, but he made a home in Memphis because he loved the music that he heard here. He was called home to Memphis, Tennessee. Let's watch a short video about W.C. Handy, the father of the blues. Wow, check it out. Right behind me here, you see the home of W.C. Handy. I've got to tell you the story because everyone wants to know. Memphis is famous for one thing more than anything else. That is the blues. Where does the blues come from? I'm going to tell you by telling you about W.C. Handy. A long time ago in the 1800s, way before you were born, W.C. Handy went to school and learned to read and write sheet music. He played the cornet, which is a type of trumpet, and he started playing in bands, and before long he became a band leader and led bands in tours all around the South. In fact, before the end of his career, he toured Canada, America, Mexico, even Cuba. By the way, back then, a band leader's weekly salary was $6 a week. W.C. Handy in the first decade of the 20th century found Memphis, Tennessee by way of a place called Tutwiler, Mississippi. Let me explain. In the middle of the night at a train station, nobody was there. He was waiting on a train. And as he waited, he heard a sound. He said it was a haunting, lilting sound. And as he investigated, he found over here, laying on the train platform with an acoustic guitar stretched out on top of him, a long, lean, loose-jointed fellow sliding a open blade like a pocket knife over the strings of a guitar. Today we know that as slide guitar, a staple of the blues. W.C. Handy was so impressed by this that when he came to Memphis, Tennessee, and in fact lived in this house, which is today on display and open to the public on Beale Street, y'all, he had discovered a thing that he decided to call the blues. The first person ever in the history of recorded music to put the name blues in a song title was W.C. Handy. First was Beale Street Blues, then St. Louis Blues, then Memphis Blues. The holy trinity of the blues songbooks. It started selling in Memphis, it started selling in Atlanta, it started selling in San Francisco, New York, Miami. Everybody in America was singing the blues. In 1977, the U.S. Congress passed a bill declaring that till the end of all days, as long as the United States is a sovereign nation, the blues, its original art form, the blues, the invention, maybe, the perfection, definitely, of W.C. Handy had a home, and that's here on Beale Street. Come on down to Beale Street and get a look at history for yourself.
I'm learning so much about Memphis, its history, its music. I love learning all these stories. It's so much fun being a part of this with you.
Yeah, well, thank you, man. It's fascinating. Memphis is a fascinating place. You know, never lose sight of the fact that, you know, all these great masterpieces, you know, Memphis is a puzzle, man, and it came together one piece at a time, whether you're talking about Elvis or W.C. Handy or Rufus Thomas. You know, these are just single names that fit together to tell a really beautiful and intricate story, just like the names of these poets that we're learning tonight.
And next, we have Amaya Williams from Central High School and her poem called In This City.
In this city, we constantly flourish, and never will we ever leave it malnourished. From food to family to friends, we're a city where the fun never ends. In this city, we are a work in progress, and never will we ever stop the process. From buildings to roads to bridges, we're a city that overcomes any ridges. In this city, we are always strong, and never will we ever prove that this is wrong. From fights to arguments to drama, we're a city that won't succumb to trauma. In this city, we are known for the blues, and never will we ever forget our muse. From Elvis to Aretha to B.B. King, we're a city that won't stop at one scene. In this city, we are always united, and never will we ever become so divided. From you to me to the heavens up above, we're a city called Memphis, a foundation of love.
Amaya, thank you so much for those heartfelt words. We loved hearing that. We loved seeing you express that. Such a sweet spirit. There was a couple lines that I loved in hers. It was, from Elvis to Aretha to B.B. King, we're a city that won't stop at one scene.
Yeah, I love that too.
There's a lot going on there.
It's actually kind of interesting that she's bringing up Aretha Franklin, because a lot of people in Memphis don't really associate Aretha with their hometown. But I mean, truth be told, Aretha was actually born here in Memphis, Tennessee, over on Lucy Street. Wow. And yeah, it's amazing. Only 3 nationally known figures are actually from the city limits of Memphis, Tennessee, and she's one of them. We'll tell the rest of that story another time. But Aretha Franklin is mostly famous for her song Respect, which you may not know. Donnie, that's an Otis Redding song. Otis Redding wrote and recorded and released Respect, and she heard it and did her version of it. One time somebody asked Otis, he said, "Hey man, have you heard Aretha's version of Respect?" He said, "That girl stole my song." No one ever thinks of his version. They always think of Aretha's version. So I'm glad that she brought that up, because Aretha is a huge part of the sound of Memphis.
Fascinating, fascinating. Memphis doesn't stop at just one scene.
Never does, yeah.
We've got a lot of stories to tell. Okay, well, this is an award show, and it's time to start talking about the winner of the Memphis Soul Prize this year. We've got great prizes thanks to all of our wonderful sponsors. The teachers get a prize pack full of restaurant gift cards, all these fun things, restaurants around Memphis, Tennessee.
Great.
They get a coffee gift pack from Dr. Beans. They've actually made a coffee for us this year, special for Memphis Soul Prize. The students are getting writing gift sets, they're getting restaurant gift cards, they're getting movie passes. Wow. They're even getting a $300 scholarship. Every one of the students, all of the finalists are getting that $300 scholarship. And now, it's time to announce the winner of this year's Memphis Soul Prize. This year's winner of the Memphis Soul Prize is Clarissa Robertson, Mitchell High School.
Awesome. Congratulations, Clarissa. Well done.
In addition to the other prizes, Clarissa, you'll also receive a $5,000 scholarship from our friends at Visible Music College.
Amazing. Visible is the only one, founded right here in Memphis, Tennessee by a guy named Ken Stortz. Ken, thank you so much for pouring into students' lives year after year here in Memphis.
And thank every one of you who have supported us this year, the businesses, the families that have sponsored this, the teachers who have brought it to their schools and made it a reality for their students. Thank you, students, for participating this year. Yeah. And thank you all of the city of Memphis who have watched, who have voted, who have helped us along the way. We couldn't do this without you. Together, we are uniting. There is nothing else like this in the whole world.
That's right.
Together, we are uniting to celebrate the good things that are happening in Memphis, Tennessee, and we're elevating the story of our city.
Awesome. Remember, the word unique is built on the word uni, and that means one of a kind, and Memphis certainly is that. So for my time, Memphis Jones, I'm out, and over here, Donnie Granger, thank you for joining us here at Memphis Soul Prize. See you next year.
The Memphis Soul Prize 2021 award show is made possible by the support of these local businesses, organizations, and individuals.